already. Thank you so much, Peace. By the way, I want to believe that we are enjoying this energy management training. And I'm so excited that most of us are still in the course. We are still following the course. We are still following the training. For the sake of those who usually read the holy book, the Christian use, there is a place where they say only those who wait or endure till end that will be saved, right? So I can apply it here as well, that only those people who tarry or wait also till the end of the energy management training session would also receive the certification, be certified, and not just the certificate alone. Sometimes we just emphasize about the certificate, but there's more than the certificate, the knowledge that we acquire, how we get to share among ourselves, not just the facilitators alone not just you, the students alone that are learning, even the facilitators are also learning. And with all of us who are here, we all have wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, and then we share together, thereby we learn together as well. So I believe that we all have been learning together and we have been gaining a lot. So let's look beyond the certificates alone, and let's see how we can acquire more knowledge as much as possible. Once again, you are welcome to today's class. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen in order to move on with what we have today. All right, let me confirm if my screen is visible. Can you see my screen? Just give a thumbs up if you can. Okay, please can you help me confirm if the screen is audible? All right. Thank you, Richard. I can see your thumbs up.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Ezekiel. All right, so today we are going into week 7, and the topic for today is energy efficiency strategies. Energy efficiency strategies. So before I proceed, I would want us to first share our idea in just 2 minutes. What do you understand by energy efficiency? Energy efficiency. We have studied about, anybody can raise his or her hand up, then I will allow you to speak. Energy efficiency. Can someone or two persons just tell us their own knowledge about energy efficiency? Yes. All right, Mr. Lua. Okay, please.
Luwagbayilo is the name. Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Okay, thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, so energy efficiency is like you are trying to generate a particular output which has less energy as possible, or even lesser than the usual energy you would use to generate that output. That's explaining it on a general scale. So be it maybe you are producing something or you are using energy to achieve a particular aim. So efficiency means that you can save the cost you use to produce that output with little energy that you would have used normally.
Fine. Thank you very much. That was nice. Yes, Mr. Richard.
Okay, good morning. So,
Good morning.
energy efficiency could mean utilizing your current energy setup to be able to utilizing it efficiently to be able to get the maximum desired result that you would expect from your setup.
All right, thank you very much. You have both spoken well. Now we will move on to what we have today. All right, let me allow the first two people. Let's start with Mr. Oluwagboyilo, right? Read the first paragraph for us as we move on.
All right. So the first paragraph, Energy efficiency is frequently diluted to mean saving power, but in a professional facility management context, it is the ratio of useful output to total input. It is a measure of system intelligence. True efficiency doesn't ask you to sit in the dark or turn off the AC during a heat wave. It demands that you eliminate the parasitic energy that performs no useful work. In many African commercial hubs, inefficiency isn't just a technical failure, it's a hidden tax on the business. When we fail to optimize, we are essentially burning capital to heat the atmosphere or vibrate unmaintained machinery.
Thank you very much. I'm very sure that in high school or maybe university or whatever, we've learned a lot about efficiency. And for some of us who did electrical engineering, we've also learned some things about power factor. And with that, what would you say when a system is having a low efficiency? What would you say when a system is also having a low power factor? Yes, let me hear from, please, anyone can raise his or her hand up also, someone who has not spoken. There is low efficiency, low power factor, either of the two. What can you say about such system? Yes. Is anyone raising hand? Is anyone raising hand? Yes, I can't see any hand. Okay, Dixon. Please unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Dixon? John. Kindly unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I want to talk on the aspect of low power factor.
Right.
For electricity or energy generation, it is always desired that your power factor be as close to having a one, that is having a unity power factor. The reason why you have to have a unity power factor is that your power factor affects
I don't know if I'm the only one who is not hearing him. Okay, we can't hear you, Mr. Dixon. Okay, let me have Mr. Olayemi Salaudeen. Kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you. So I would also like to speak to the the power factor side. I mean, having a low power factor means that the energy that was served is being utilized or consumed appropriately, and then you have low wastage, that is low level of wasted energy.
All right. Thank you very much. So unfortunately, we can't hear Mr. Dixon complete what he had to say. He was talking about power factor. In most cases, is always preferred that your power factor is close to a unity, and the acceptable minimum power factor is either 0. For some countries is 0.85, for some countries is 0.8, but I've not seen the one that is less than 0.8. So that's about 80%, right? So it's always important that you have a very good power factor for electricity. And then for any other system, you ensure that your efficiency is at least up to 80% as well. That's when you know that, yes, you have a very good system. So I want, okay, Olayemi also, please kindly explain to us what you do understand from where has been read, just from the first paragraph that was read. You can unmute yourself to speak. Yes, any other person who wants to speak or who wants to give us some explanation from the first paragraph? Please, let's make it very, very interesting by contributing your knowledge. Can I call on Caroline? Please unmute yourself. Please, I hope I'm still audible because it looks like my audience are not hearing me. Please, can you confirm if I'm audible?
You're audible, sir.
All right. Okay. Can you please explain or what you understand from paragraph 1?
Okay. So for
Yeah.
paragraph 1, it's very clear. It's like when you talk of energy efficiency, I understood that you are not just trying to probably intentionally derive yourself of power, like the
Yeah.
example where you say that probably turning off AC is when you're actually supposed to cool your room, but it just means that whatever you are using is contributing to a useful work. It's not as if you
Yeah.
are wasting energy. Maybe there are people who are not occupying office spaces, or probably you have computers that are not being used and they are just taking, we've learned phantom power in this course so far, and if they are not doing any useful work, that means you're not using your energy efficiently. That's what I understood. And to make sure
Yeah.
that whatever you are getting inside, whatever is going in as an input, you are getting maximum output from it. And like you said, at least your efficiency should be close to 100% if you can't
Yeah.
really get 100%. That's what I understood.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay. So some point that I would want us to take very, very importantly is we are talking about the ratio of useful output to input, the useful output, what you are consuming when you compare it to what you are sending out, or let's say what you are sending out. Later on, we'll still see some examples. You are producing, let's say you are producing, you are using a generator of 500 kVA, for instance, and you are supplying it to power a load of, let's say, a 100 kVA. you know, already you know that the system is not efficient. You are not efficient in your usage, in your power production. Secondly, that I want us to understand here is that when we talk about energy efficiency, we are talking about energy intelligence, making sure that your system or energy production, you are intelligent enough in it. Like he has rightly explained, we are not saying you should derive yourself of some, of comforts. You understand? It's not as if you should derive yourself, no, but ensuring that you are removing or eliminating all forms of parasitic consumption or parasitic energy that, that sucks you, that saps your funds secretly or in a way that affects you negatively. All right, let's move on to these questions now. The first one is, if you reduce energy consumption by 20%, but your production output drops by 25%, are you being efficient or are you just starving yourself? I want someone who understands that question to give us his or her own response to that quiz. Yes, I think I saw someone's hand earlier on. Lois, where is she? Can you raise your hand again so that I can allow you to speak? All right. Lois, please omit yourself. Omit yourself now.
Okay. So if you reduce energy consumption by 20%, you're not necessarily being efficient just because you reduced energy consumption, because from the explanation of energy efficiency, there has to be a meeting point with your energy saving as well as your productivity. So you're not necessarily sacrificing the productivity of your business just because you want to save energy. There has to be that meeting point where your productivity is still being optimized while you're saving energy. So you're not being efficient.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have answered the question absolutely well. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Can a luxury hotel ever be energy efficient without compromising the guest experience? I would really prefer someone who works in a hotel or any hotel facility manager to respond if you are there. Otherwise, anybody can still raise hand to answer this question. Yes, who is answering this question for us? Yes. Okay. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear
Good
me?
morning. Yes, we can hear you audibly.
So automatically you can, I'm trying to get, can a luxury hotel be energy efficient? So they can be energy efficient without compromising the guest safety. It just depends on the approach to it. For examples, if you are looking at some of your equipment that are consuming larger amount of energy, maybe you have a system where it's consuming about 18 watts, one of the fittings in the room, and you have about 4 of it. Automatically, you can reduce it something around 5 watts. So 5 watts to 18 watts, you're almost saving about 13 watts on each of those lighting. So it also depends on the AC. Peradventure, you're using the old type AC and you're thinking of, okay, let me migrate to the era of the inverter AC by reducing over 30% of the energy consumption. So the luxury is still there, but you're just being able to cut it in such a way that it does not compromise their own comfort. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much for answering that question. You know, I would want someone to still talk, especially in the area of when we are talking about the guest experience, you know, it still involves the aspect of the costs. How I know that there are some hotels that are luxury hotels that, you know, they have to pay high, but in terms of cost as well. And then whoever is going to speak should also look at, you know, there are some places whereby, some hotels whereby, even to the extent of the lights within the reception area, everything is powered on, and, you know, things like that. They just want everything to be. Now, I still want someone else to still speak. Yes, let me allow, let me see. Okay. Okay. Mr. Anthony, please unmute yourself.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Like you rightly said, the efficiency of the energy out here we're talking about is the ratio of the useful output to the total output. Now, coming to this scenario of a luxury hotel, yeah, we've gone to the level of having the high consuming equipment or appliances in a hotel. They are managed in a way that they are photo-shelved or they are remote controlled in a way that it is only when the occupants of the room want to use the heater that the heater will come on.
Absolutely.
Then the lighting, it is when the person is entering the bathing room or entering the room. When you enter, you clock the room light will come on. With all these facilities are in there, yes, you are running your plant, you are running your hotel in an efficient way, in the sense that every customer still enjoy all the facilities they are supposed to enjoy in the hotel. But the hotel manager has put something in place in a way that the energy that is supposed to be wasted are no longer wasted, like leaving your heater on, leaving your AC on, and leaving the room and all that stuff. So with all these modern gadgets, those things are no longer happening. So the luxury hotel can actually manage their hotel efficiently without removing the hospitality in the business from the customers. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. Thank you very, very much. All right, so there are some important things we need to look at in, we are using a luxury hotel as an example now. So you need to look at your equipment. Are your equipment energy efficient equipment? I could remember sometimes some years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, I have a deep freezer that I purchased from someone, and it was now period where Nigeria electricity regulation now increased the cost of band A tariff, for some countries that uses all these different bands as well. But I thought, what can I do? I know that my deep freezer is not that efficient. In fact, it doesn't regulate, it works well, but it doesn't regulate itself. The regulation, the regulator of the deep freezer is not actually working. The temperature sensor is not working. I just thought to myself, what can I do? I don't want to repair. I had to sell it off. When I sold it off to someone who feels he can manage it, he can repair it, I had to get a new one. And honestly, I can see the difference. I can see the difference between both of them. So when you notice that a system, whether it's an hotel, an estate, or any facility you manage, you know that this particular equipment is not energy efficient. And if it is beyond maintenance, it's just better. In fact, you save more replacing that equipment than saying you want to manage it or you want to repair it. In some cases, you need to look at, okay, when is this necessary? When is this lighting necessary? It's only necessary when a customer is occupying that room. Then you put a system in place that only powers on the electrical appliances within that room only when a customer is booked for that room. Is doable. And last example before I leave this point is this. My own landlord was like, oh, we need street light, but he's always someone who always look at his pocket cost and, to do things, okay? But he made the decision that he's going to put a street light within the compound. But thinking about this cost, he had to do this, what's it called now? Some of you that knows it better than me, that so that the street light only pass on within a particular period of time. Let's say from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning. That is an example of how you can make your facility to be intelligent, your facility to be energy efficient. You know that you don't need to control it manually. You don't need to say, oh, FM, have you powered on have you switched off the street light? No, because you have put a system in place to power it off as soon as it is 6 a.m. in the morning. It goes off itself. Again, in the night, people will need electricity. They will need to see. They will need the street light. As soon as it is 8 p.m. again or 7 p.m. in the evening, the system has been put in place to turn the light on when it is 7 p.m. as well. So you need to put a system in place in any facility you are handling. And not just facility alone, in our own private houses, that is also necessary. All right, so let's move on to paragraph 2 now. I am seeing a name here that I love so much. I don't know why. Job Musyoka. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. So omit yourself, Job Musyoka, and read paragraph 2 for us. This is a way for me to test if everyone is following. Job Musyoka. Please, you can correct me if I didn't pronounce it well. Please omit yourself. Are you there? All right. Let's have someone else because of our time. It seems some people are not following the class. I'm seeing some hands. Some people have spoken already. I want hands that have not. Okay. I need more hands, please. Okay. Van de Fan. Please help me pronounce it properly.
Okay. Good morning. The name is Van de Fan.
Van de Fan. Thank you.
Yes. I read paragraph 2. Dynamic load management and generator sizing. The load resource mismatch is the silent killer of profitability. Most facility managers operate under the fallacy that a large generator is always better. So you have shifted, okay. It's better, just in case. However, diesel internal combustion engines are designed for a sweet spot, typically between 60% and 80% of their rated capacity. Running a 500 kVA generator to power a 50 kVA midnight load causes weight stacking, that is unbound fuel build up, and horrific fuel to power ratios. Load management is the tactical art of scheduling hydro equipment like pumps or chillers to ensure the generator stays in its high efficiency zone, or using load shedding to prevent costly peak demand surcharges. Most managers buy a sultry size too big because they plan on getting fat. That is exactly how they buy generators, and they pay for extra fabrics every single day.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, let's have one or two persons raise their hand up in order to help us just explain what you understand from what he has read for us. Okay, I can see another name here, Dufale Superior. Can you please unmute yourself? Dufale Superior. If I'm not pronouncing it well, please pardon me, right? Superior. At least I can pronounce that. Yes, are you there? Okay. Can I see more hands? Mr. Richard, you have spoken. Okay, let me allow you. Mr. Epo Richard, please unmute yourself.
Okay, so the popular belief that a lot of people generally have is that it's better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. So they tend to apply that into most things, forgetting that sometimes this mindset is not a one size fits all approach. So there are certain things that require a certain level of accuracy and tactfulness. And one of those things is in your generator sizing. Why? Because buying something that you don't need or buying a capacity that you are not ready to use efficiently is going to incur additional and invisible costs that you might not be aware of until it is too late.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I want to ask a question now, because I just have the feeling that some persons may not really understand why this is load undersize or load mismatch. Okay, I want someone else to answer the question. If you run a 500 kVA generator, okay, let's assume you are running a 500 kVA generator. Are you going to use the same quantity of fuel that you are going to use to produce, let's say 500 kilowatts of energy being consumed per time, per the particular period that you own that generator? Are you going to use the same quantity of fuel to produce a lesser kilowatt hour of electricity? Can someone just answer that question? Okay, I can see Anthony's hand raised up. Okay, unmute yourself. I hope the question is clear.
Yeah, it's very clear.
All right.
Let's take, for example, you have a load of, okay, you have like 100 bags of cement to be transported from Lagos to Benin. And you are going to get a truck that carries a minimum or maximum of 900 bags. of cement. That's the truck you are hiring to take that load to Benin. Invariably, first of all, you are not just energy efficient at all, because that truck is going to consume more diesel and what you are carrying is less. So when we are now taking it back to this generator sizing, when you have a generator of 500 kVA, the diesel consumption is very, very high, irrespective of the load that is going to carry. So for you to have a 500 kVA generator to carry a 50 kVA load, then you're already running at a loss, because the diesel consumption is going to be much, and you're actually causing more problems for the generator, because it's not carrying up to 30% capacity of what it's supposed to carry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, because I just needed the question to be answered in a different way. That's why I brought in the aspect of diesel consumption to it. So irrespective of the load that you are carrying, as long as it is below the rated power, especially, less than 50%, you're already running at loss. It's not even an hidden loss at this time now, because you are burning fuel, you are burning diesel. Already you are running at a loss starting from that point. And then, another loss that you're also incurring is the maintenance. The maintenance of a 500 kVA generator definitely will be lesser than a 60 kVA generator, let's say, for instance, or 100 kVA generator. The maintenance of those two generators are different, because for every running of every hour or minute of running your generator, definitely is getting closer to servicing as well. So let's be wise in managing our facilities, infrastructure, including the diesel generator as well. All right, the next question or quiz, I'm going to take the two together. Okay, I think, is it better to run a 500 kVA generator at 30% load, or 200 kVA generator synchronized at 75% load? Please, also, let's take it together with the question under it. If your peak load only happens for 1 hour a day, should you size your system for that hour, or find a way to move that load? Yes, I want contributions now. I may not even have to. I want to see hands. No, is it only Mr. Anthony Amabi here? I want a feminine gender to raise hand as well. Yes, I can't see more hands. Please let us contribute our knowledge. Let's contribute our knowledge. I need more hands. Yes, who is that? Okay, all right. Let's have Mr. John Nwabuko. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay. For the good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For the first one, which where the question is asked, is it better to run 1,500 kVA generator at 30%, or 200 kVA generator synchronized at 75%? I think that of the 200 kVA generators run at 75% for me is better, because you are doing two things. One is that you've synchronized them. It then means that when this one runs to a certain number of hours, maybe based on how you set it, or maybe based on load, the other one takes over. Another one, the second one rests. So that way, you're able to elongate the lifespan of the generator, because you don't overwork one. And secondly, because you are running it at optimal percentage. So that one too also ensures that the generator is running at the required rated capacity. So that one is also an advantage to its that means the generator is working efficiently. Then for the second question, I would say where it says that if your peak load only happens for 1 hour, should you size your system for that 1 hour? I think if I can remember, we made reference to this kind of question, I think either in our first or second topic, because when if a load should run at its peak, but I think basically what we should be looking here is the infrastructure that even supplies the load. So if a load should run at its peak, for that load to be able to, or rather for that load to function very well and be able to carry the system, I feel that means that the supporting infrastructure is okay, and should be able to carry it. So if it runs for 1 hour, it then means that it could run for more than one hour or more than only God knows. But I'm saying that as long as you could reach the peak of the load for 1 hour, it then means that you have reached the maximum of it. You have been able to, like, what word will I use now? Like, you've been able to actually use the infrastructure to its
No, I
highest
think, sorry, sir.
capacity.
Sorry, let me cut you, sir. Let me cut you, sir. I think we need to understand the question. If your peak load only happens, there is peak hour
Yes.
during the day, for instance, there is a peak hour. The peak hour
Yeah.
is the period where the optimum energy need is, the period whereby you have the optimum or highest requirement for energy. So we say if it only happens for 1 hour, what should you do? Should you size, and you know that peak energy or peak requirement, should you size your system for that 1 hour peak load requirement, or you rather move the load and find another alternative way of meeting that need? Yes, that's the question. So can we have someone else just quickly?
Okay. Let someone else. I think let someone else ask.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
can see Lois and one other person. Let me see who has not spoken among them. Okay, all right. Let me give chance to Lois again. Mr. Anthony, sorry. Okay.
Okay, I wanted to try because you had asked for a lady to speak. So I feel if you size your system for a peak load that only happens for 1 hour, it may not be very practical or wise. If, for example, your peak load is something that's maybe is really, really high compared to the general load you would have during the day, what that means is there will be a lot of wasted energy. So I feel it will be better if you find a way to move that load so that at the peak hour you are able to use it, but anytime else that you don't need it, it can be redirected for other purposes.
Thank you very much. So that was just a very simple answer we need. So it's better for you to just move the load. Yes, I can see Caroline ready to talk now. But you please help us take paragraph 3, Caroline.
I would have loved to hear Caroline's comment.
Okay, Caroline, kindly make a comment before you read the next paragraph.
So can you hear me? Good morning, everybody. I can't see long where I am. So, okay. Can you hear me? Please confirm me from there.
Your audio is not clear.
Okay, we're coming.
Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Okay, yeah, I may not be able to take the readings. Apologies for not responding on this one. I'm in a very tight environment. I'm in a meeting, so I have to I can't take that. So what I was going to say was taking and resizing your generator based on a peak hour might not be economical and operationally needed because of why. And what I understand by peak load or peak record, it's something that happens maybe once in 3 months. It's not something that's sustainable. It could be like because of a load spike or increase in load somewhere or surge somewhere, so which means it's not sustainable. But having your trend load, working, reciting your generator or picking your generator or your energy load based on your trend load, which means accumulated trend load. Okay, the trend that happened, at so and so place, our load for each day is 3 megawatt, 4 megawatt, and it's consistent. So you can work with that. But something that just happened once in a while is not sustainable and it's not economical because why? You're also losing both at the machine end and even at different ends. So they're going to incur costs which is not reasonable. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you so much for that contribution. I think that answers the question absolutely well, together with what Lois have also contributed. Thank you very much. Okay, can I still take one more person to respond to this? I've been seeing Anthony's and okay, let me have him speak. Mr. Anthony, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, all.
Good morning.
Yeah, first of all, we have to look at the sizing of the generator and the sizing of the cables for this generator. Now we are having a peak hour of 1 hour. So we'll check the sizing of the cables that will go from the generator to the switchboard that will power all the equipment out there. If the sizing of the cable is okay and the generator is okay, the only thing that can be done, we might not necessarily increase that peak for just 1 hour. We could actually check the load that we can shed during that period, the load that will not really be functional at that period, to always have a way of knocking them off so that we'll be able to run smoothly without trying to size more than the normal. Because when we look at the sizes of the cable and even the generator, we might need to spend far more than we can imagine to put all those things in place to cover for this peak 1 hour peak load. So, but in essence, we could look at areas in all the equipment or facilities that we're going to power to check which of these can be shared at that hour that is supposed to be peak for the generator. I think that is all I can say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Everyone has spoken from different perspectives. So I want us to move on to the next paragraph now, which is CAPEX versus OPEX paradox. All right, Mr. Ifyong, I can see your hand raised up. Kindly help us in reading the paragraph 3. Kindly unmute yourself. You have been granted permission to unmute yourself.
Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Once again, paragraph 3. The CAPEX versus OPEX paradox. There is a dangerous myth that efficiency is too expensive. In reality, the most expensive energy is the energy you waste. We must distinguish between operational efficiency, that is zero cost behavioral change, and technical efficiency, high cost hardware upgrade. Replacing a functional but inefficient chiller with a magnetic bearing chiller might cost 50 million naira. But if the payback period is 24 months, then after 2 years, the machine is essentially printing money for the facility. The goal is to move from a price-first mentality to a life cycle cost, LCC mentality, where the purchase price is seen as only 10% of the total cost of owning the machine. An inefficient machine is a thief that you invited into your building and gave a key to your safe.
All right. Thank you so much. This is very, very interesting, and I want us to also make contributions here based on our understanding. Yes, can we have some hands raised up? I've not seen any hands. Please, let's contribute. Kindly unmute yourself. Let's contribute. Raise your hand up so that we can give you the chance to speak. Yes. Whose hand am I seeing? Mr. Samuel Bowman. Can you unmute yourself? Samuel Bowman. Unmute yourself. Okay. Toby Victor. Can you unmute yourself? I'm not seeing any hand. Don't you understand what has been read?
Sorry,
All right.
what was the question?
Yeah, we want you to give your contribution to paragraph 3 that was just read to us.
Okay. Actually was not listening when the speaker was reading it. I was trying to do something. I'm at work, so I'm just trying to just
All right. Is it
listen.
okay? Just answer this question in brief. Is it expensive? Is efficiency expensive? Efficiency to attain efficiency, is it expensive? When you look at the
No,
cost of putting in place efficient system.
no, it is not expensive. It actually save cost.
How?
Okay. I'll give an instance. I'll give an example of where I stayed while in school.
Okay.
I stayed in a compound where you have a compound generator that carries about 66 rooms in that compound. So every night of the day, every night around 8 p.m., we put on the compound generator that powers everybody's room for about 3 hours every night. So I happen to be in charge of, ensuring everything runs smoothly, putting on the generator, acquiring money for diesel, and also pay for the supply of diesel
Okay.
too. So the efficiency in when I say efficiency is not expensive is because we tend to manage the way we consume diesel. We have an external cylinder tank that we use for our generator. So though the cost of diesel always fluctuates, actually, it's not always stable. This week we are buying diesel for so amount. The upper week is changes, but it's still efficient in a way.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. But there is something I was looking for. I thought you wanted to give an instance of how you replaced your generator, and in the long run, it gave you a low cost maintenance. That was what I was, because when you replace, let's say
Yeah. At some point,
speak on.
Okay, at some point, when I first got to the compound, we were using personal generator until like everybody that has the money to get a generator, try to get one. Until the landlord had to just call a compound meeting and told us that he wants to bring the idea of compound generator to the compound if we are going to like it. And those that are using the personal generator saw that it's actually efficient because they get to use the light every night. The generator carries your iron, your electrical car, and all sorts of,
So meaning
unlike
that
the personal.
they prefer it because they would be probably spending less and
So we
getting
spend
more, being able to use more power.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yes, let's have Mr. Anthony. I saw your hands. Unmute yourself.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
morning. Yes, we are just talking about the might of efficiency to inefficiency. And when we look at it this way, we already know from our previous lectures that defective equipment tend to waste energy more than any other thing. To promote all the things that cycles around here, it's about having a technical efficiency and operational efficiency. So this efficiency, how do we manage them? Well, as we generate power and we know that social equipment is defective, it's aging, then it's every day, because when bearings are going bad and other components of the equipment are going bad, definitely it's going to take more energy than normal. And when you calculate those energy that it takes that is abnormal for a day, for a week, for a month, and for a year, you now find out that the cost of those energy that is being wasted is far, far more than actually acquiring a better and functional and efficient equipment for the project. So when we look at that, we now tell ourselves that having an efficient equipment is far, far better than having inefficient equipment in management of all this energy and efficiency. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that contribution. I hope that we all understand his explanation. Let me have Mr. Emeka. I think you have not spoken. Let's have you unmute yourself, contribute. Emeka.
Okay. Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah.
So I want to speak on the aspect of the speaker talking about the direct. Are you with me?
Sorry, your mic is not very clear. Your voice is not very clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I want to speak on the speaker of Jericho.
Okay.
Yes, the speaker that's about Jericho. Yes, for me, efficiency is expensive because let me just get study of the other guy that is compound Jericho. If the compound people probably want to say, fine, they want to repair this Jericho and to get the original parts takes about maybe about 200,000 naira to get the original parts. And they can get a fairly used part, roughly about 80k, and they agree to deal with the fairly used part of 80k. Over time, probably in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the way, if the generator is likely to fail, and when it fails, you have to now still go back to buy those parts and still pay for workmanship. So in a given space of 1 month, 2 months, you have acquired more expenses, even more than the original parts. So that is why I say that for me, efficiency is expensive because for you to get the appropriate efficient system running at an initial time, it's very expensive. But over time, it's less expensive. Thank you.
Oh, you said over time it is less expensive, right?
Yes, but initial time it is very expensive for efficiency.
Okay.
But over time it is less expensive.
Okay. Thank you very much. Maybe I will allow 1 or 2 persons to still say something. That's why the paragraph 3 is titled the CapEx versus OpEx paradox.
Yes,
and I hope that you know what CapEx means. Are you saying something? You know what CapEx means, and you know what OpEx means as well. CapEx is the capital expenditure or capital expenses that you make, while the OpEx is the operating expenses. All right. So yes, for some of us that knows about renewable energy and especially this solar aspect, we have learned that the capital to invest on bringing up or setting up a solar or renewable energy is high. And you'll be looking at it, that first time investment, you are talking of millions of naira or shillings or whatever your currency is. But you will realize that over time, that over time exactly is that advantage that you have over the capital the capital that you spend at the initial stage. So that exactly is also when we compare what your operating cost versus your capital cost, you now realize that when you have an inefficient system, your operating cost is actually what is expensive. But it is not, it is better for you to rather replace it with an efficient one, because at the long run, you spend less on, continuous maintenance. Let me quickly have some other persons speak, because I can see that 2 hands or 3 are raised up now. Yes, Mr. Ifyong, let's hear you again. Don't worry, Mr. Anthony, I'm coming back to you. I can see you want to contribute on this also. Yes, please omit yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to say is this. I want to give a scenario.
Good.
There was this company I was working with back then. They were having a cooling system that they use water. They use water to suck out heat from a process plant, and then the water will go back. A cooling tower fan will blow the hot water, cool it down, and then the water will go back again and cool the process. Now, there's this cooling tower motor. There were 3 in number that they were using back then. The motor was regularly faulty every single time. But what happened was that the amount of money they spent repairing the motor, understand, every point in time wasn't that much. So the people prefer repairing the motor instead of replacing the motor. But there was this guy that there was a guy they employed. So the guy now came in and then looked at the cost of them repairing those motors over a year. And then he now compared with the cost of them acquiring a new motor. Understand? Now the cost then of repairing that motor was almost close to 2 times the price of them getting that motor. But the problem was that the cost of getting that motor was very, very high. So the people did not want to get the motor because of the initial cost of getting the motor. But after the guy had done a comparative analysis on the cost of maintaining those motors and the cost of getting the motor, they had to save up and then purchase a new motor. And they now discover that after buying the new motor, that they spend less. That the operational cost was lesser than what they used to experience before they replaced the motor.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Fantastic. All right, let me have Mr. Ugochukwu. I hope we are all following with some of these experiences, because I know there are a lot of wealth of experience here, and people would be sharing from their experiences, and he has just shared with us one now. So, Mr. Ugochukwu Uche, kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon. You can be louder.
Okay. So let me give a scenario based on this CAPEX and operational paradox. In the renewable energy sector, if you are about to maybe design a system, carry an energy audit maybe in a firm, and you found out that the equipments they are using are not efficient, in the sense that they might be old and maybe overworking. But if you intend to go further with that particular equipment, and you are looking at maybe backup hours of those equipments, you'll find out that the backup the battery bank system that you are going to use for such equipment to back up for the particular hours they want, you will find out that you are spending more in acquiring those batteries and maybe designing that system based on how they want it, based on that they need those equipment that are there to be functioning without replacing them. But when you you give maybe a professional advice for them to replace some of those equipments that are not efficient, you will see that the initial cost of that system that you're about to design and give to them is going to reduce drastically, because let me give an example. You are using a 5 horsepower AC. Maybe for there's a company we did an installation for. They use 5 horsepower for their server rooms, and almost their server equipments are old models, consuming a lot. It was consuming more than we expected. So what we did was we gave them an advice, a professional advice, tell them that they need to change these ACs to a more efficient inverter ACs. Then also most of those server equipment that are outdated, they need to replace it with the new efficient low energy consumption server equipment. So they were like, okay, give us the cost of running this particular one the way it is, and also give us the cost of the one you are talking about, and also that as in the solution you are preferring. So when we gave them the two, even in as much as they were going to change those ACs and change some of those servers equipment, they found out that the one we gave them, the solution we prefer is more cheaper than what that the initial design they wanted. So I would say energy efficiency is not expensive.
Thank you very much.
It is actually cheap. In the long run, you have to it will pay for itself in the long run. It's not.
Thank you. Let me have one more person speak lastly now on this point, Mr. Ugochukwu, right? Sorry, Emeka, please unmute yourself. Please, I want my friends from Kenya to please raise their hands and also contribute. Please. Otherwise, I'll call randomly. All right, please speak, Mr. Emeka. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay. All right. His hands are down. All right. Let's answer these questions that are underneath. Anybody can please raise their hand. I know you have read them already, but let me still read. Should you spend 10 million on solar upgrade? I think we have already answered that question, right? Today, to save 2 million naira yearly, even if the inflation rate is 25%, does the math still hold? Yes. Does the math still hold? I think that's the next thing we should answer. Does it still hold? Yes. In a simple term, even if inflation rate is 25%. Yes. Mathematicians, energy experts. I can't see any hand. Does the math still hold? Yes, Mr. Philip. Can you unmute yourself?
How are you doing? Let me try.
Yeah.
Despite having an initial cost of 10 million, and the current annual savings is 2 million per year, that mainly brings up a payback period where you get the difference of the 10 million divided by the 2 million. You get that is a 5-year payback, but there is an inflation of 25%. So on the scenario of savings, that may become the 2 million naira divided by 0.25, that is 8 million. This means the streams of saving is worth about 8 million naira. So the saving never increases. Spending 10 million is not attractive financially. That's according to my perspective. Though despite we have the electricity and diesel cost scenario for the efficiency, where we may tend to say that the system may tend to last up for 10 to 15 years, that it may be actually, it mainly be upgradable, and the battery replacement costs are manageable and also the uptime or the productivity gains matter also. So when you put those all factors into consideration, you may say that the fixed 2 million naira savings is a weak investment, and the savings that rise due to energy inflation is potentially very strong investment also.
All right. He has spoken from his own perspective. I really want somebody to counter him or to say something again, I mean, contrary to what he has said. Is anybody raising hand? I think I can see one hand. Okay, unmute yourself, Mr. Olariwaju. Kindly unmute.
Okay. Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. What I just have to say is that if there's an opportunity to do an upgrade or an installer to install an installer in a facility that will cost 10 million, and on yearly basis, the facility or the company is receiving 2 million, it means that within space of 5 years, they can actually recoup the amount they invested on the installation of the solar. I can bet you that to me, the math still holds, regardless of the fact that there's 25% inflation in place. The reason is that after the space of 5 years, let's assume that the space of 5 years, they can actually recover the CapEx, that's the capital investment that they carried on. Then beyond that 5 years, the solar will still keep serving. And beyond, if you look at the other angle of it, then if we are saying, okay, we should not do the investment, the inflation that is in place, we actually catch up with whatever method we are using. Probably maybe we are relying on generator, or we are relying on grid, other source of energy. So the inflation will also actually catch up with it, because meaning that we are going to be spending more also. So if you have to do the mathematics as well, you discover that if you decide not to invest in the solar, you still end up spending more. In as much as inflation in place. For instance, if you are spending 1 million, are getting it on energy in a year, and inflation, it means that we cannot longer spend that 1 million will not be obtainable anymore. It will be more than that. So if by my own advice, I will advise that the solar installation should be done regardless of the inflation, because we are surely going to make it efficient and it's way to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I want to create a scene. Would I call it a scene? Is it okay to call it a scene? I want us to keep the WhatsApp group busy today, right? And what are we going to do? I'm kind of person that love practical rather than just theoretical. Okay, so I would want us to just share our own responses on our WhatsApp group, and note that for you to share a response related to this quiz, you need to solve your mathematics and tell us exactly how much would be saved. That's if the mathematics still hold. If it holds, tell us how much you are going to be saving and for how many years. So you are going to solve the math and snap it and drop on the group, and just, that's what I want us to keep the group busy with today. Like today, after now, when you have the chance, just do the mathematics. Kindly write this question down now so that you can solve it for us and prove to us that the mathematics still holds or not. I hope you have copied that question. Kindly copy the question. If I may also help in putting it on the group, on the, what's it called now? I'm going to drop the question on our chat box so that everybody will copy it and solve it and prove your point on our WhatsApp group. Let's keep it busy today, right? So thank you very much. We want to move on to the next paragraph. Paragraph 4, the psychology of waste, the human factor. The psychology of waste, the human factor. All right, I want someone to help us in reading this paragraph now? Can I see any feminine gender now? No, no, I want a female to read. No female has read today. Can I call on Caroline? Are you busy, still busy? Yes. Toby, I think Toby is she a male or female? Okay. All right. Omit yourself.
All right, paragraph 4.
I wanted the female actually. I wanted the female. All right. Who is yeah, I wanted a female. Please, I need a female to read it for us.
All right.
Cholade, are you a female or male? Please, where are our females? Are they not here today? Caroline, are you still busy? Can you read for us? Kindly unmute yourself and read, if you can. All right, in that case, let's have you speak. Let's have anybody who is able to read now. Kindly unmute. I think Aminu was raising up his hand. Unmute yourself.
Okay, sir. Paragraph 4, the psychology of waste, the human factor. You can install the most advanced building management system, BMS, in the world, but if a security guard bypasses the sensors to keep an AC at 16 degrees Celsius with a window open, your technology has failed. Behavioral efficiency is about energy literacy. It involves creating a culture where every staff member views a running tap on an ideal motor as personal loss. This requires more than posters. It requires accountability structure. When departments are billed for their specific energy use, behavior changes overnight. Until energy has a pace and a consequences, it will always be wasted. A smart building with unsmart people is just an expensive pile of bricks. Quiz
All right.
can.
All right, thank you.
Is it okay?
Okay, let's have someone or two to please contribute to this. Yes, I can see Mr. Anthony. Are you raising your hand or mute yourself? Yes, just one person or two.
Okay, like we already say, this behavioral psychology of waste. Yes, by the time people start paying bills, they are told that 1 kilowatt hour is 500 naira. And you know you have high illumination lamps in your security light. Nobody will advise you that when it is morning, you need to go and switch them off. Nobody will advise you that you need to change to low energy consuming bulbs so that you don't spend much. Nobody will advise you that when you are leaving your sitting room in the night to go to your bedroom, you shouldn't switch off your AC and your light. So it's a way of life that people will know when cost is attached. If there are consequence management for everything we do, then people will start learning to take and follow suit. I think that's the most I would just say earlier. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Can we have one more person? Okay, let's just move on to the quiz and question. Can a 1-hour staff training session save more energy than a 5 million naira capacity bank? How do you motivate a tenant to save energy if they are paying a flat rate for electricity regardless of usage? Let's make contribution regarding these two questions. Yes, let's have hands raised up now. In fact, I love these two questions. They are very interesting. So I want more people. Please, let's raise our hands. Let's contribute. Let's make contributions. Yes, who is contributing first? A 1-hour training session, can it save more energy? How does it save more energy? All right, someone speaking?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I feel a 1 hour training of the staff would save more.
Please be louder.
I said I feel a 1 hour training. A training for the staff can save more cost for energy than 5 million capacitor bank, because 5 million capacitor banks you would have to maintain it over the year. But training, if you train the people, they will know how to manage the energy time to time, and it is quite cheaper just to train them.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, the training does not have to be so comprehensive to that extent. But as a security man, for instance, you can just give them basic training that they need to understand, you know, and that can save you a whole lot in the long run. All right, let me have Mr. John Nwabu. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, I think I will just put it briefly this way, that one is proactive, one is reactive, in the sense that you give somebody a 1 hour training. So with that person, there is awareness. Now the person is aware.
Awareness.
The person knows. The person, knows what to do. The moment he notices it, he's able to take action and becomes accountable for it. But for the other one now, the deed has already been done. You're only trying to do a correction by buying a 5 million naira capacity bank. So that's what I want to say.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Anthony, can you take the second question? I can't see your hand. Okay, please. Okay, I've asked Mr. Adeyemi to unmute yourself. Can you take the second question? Adeyemi Olaiwola. Okay,
Hello?
Mr. Anthony, you can speak on. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Speak on, Mr. Adeyemi.
Okay. Thank you. I think the former speaker has actually answered very well, but let me just add a bit to it.
No, I want you to take the second question regarding tenants.
Okay, how do you motivate tenants to save energy if they are paying flat rates for electricity regardless of the usage? So one of the best ways to motivate tenants to save energy, number one, is to control their own usage from their how they use their own energy in their own building, their own flats. So that's number one. Why the second point I want to add to it is that the flat rate regardless how they use it, the flat rate should just be like a guidance to everybody in the flat to be aware of it. I don't know whether I'm making sense with that point.
You are always making sense. Everyone is making sense. We might just have different way of viewing them, different perspective. Don't worry. If you have other person that maybe whose opinion you might prefer to your own, then you can go along with that. All right.
Thank you.
So let me have Mr. Kolawole. Please unmute yourself. Hold on. Before you speak,
Okay.
Before you speak, while we are thinking about answering this question, you need to also ask yourself, is it possible for you to either impose training? Okay, for instance, now, let me use myself as an example. In my own house, I know that water consumption, water management also impacts your electricity usage as well. It's part of energy. So I do tell my wife, madam, the way you use water is, I don't understand. You are wasting water, That's my own perspective, where I came from. Like, you should be able to manage water. But, for women, most cases, they just want to enjoy their kitchen, their water usage, and the rest. Okay? Now, but with time, just with patience and letting her know why this thing is important, little by little she was adhering and she was also understanding. But for a tenant that you are not living with, can you impose your training? Can you impose anything on them? in order for them to manage? Can you impose energy management? So I want us to reason it properly when we are answering the question. All right. Who is speaking? I think that's Mr. Kolawole, right? Kindly omit yourself.
All right, thank you. So what I wanted to say was that when you give your co-tenant available information, it really tells in the way they react to things. For example, maybe when you are explaining the fact that, okay, from 500K monthly bill, if there's a way we can be able to just manage it to 200 or to 250K with our behavioral changes, giving them the right information. Everybody wants their bills to be reduced now. So if they're saying that, okay, this is what we do, maybe for those of us going to work in the morning, if it's possible for us to just turn off our light, everything. If you don't have a freezer that needs to be on at that moment, you can just turn it off. When they have to help their behavioral changes, then another thing comes to, for instance, for a corporate environment, one of the things we do here is that we have energy marshals. We have people that are expected to do. If anybody's turning on the AC when there's nobody there, they are just marshals that also helps to just manage to monitor energy. But one of the big solution I know we can do in a tenant place is that when you have smart meters for each flat, everybody adjusts. You will not know that people can just manage it. Like, so once you just have a solutions that can everybody just adjust.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much. Thank you. All right, let me have one more person speak. Kao JK. I don't know if I pronounce it wrong. Omit yourself.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Tenants are the most difficult people to deal with in this planet. After them, the drivers. They will tell you, provided they are paying for their electricity, they will use it the way they want to use it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Some of them, even when they are going out, say, I'm going to market to buy this, buy something. I want my room to be cool. Now I come back, they want the AC and go to the market and spend like 1 hour and come back to use they will still leave the AC on. The best thing to deal with tenants is to motivate them that you are going to install a meter for them. So individual can manage his own electricity and pay what is consuming. That's the only way you can deal with them. Otherwise, you want to preach to them, you're wasting your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we might have to move on to the next paragraph. Actually, you can't impose training on them. They will choose what they will listen to. But the best way you can motivate them is to enforce. If you have the capacity and the financial ability, you can enforce installation of not just a check meter. Okay, because I know there are several types of meters, not just a check meter or a postpaid meter that just reads. Some people call it energy reader. No, it has to be a prepaid, so that as they use, they pay. As they use, they pay, or before they even use, they paid already, and they only use what they paid for. All right. Moving on to the next two paragraphs now. I want somebody, okay, I can see one hand raised up already. Please just help us read paragraph 2, Mr. John Dixon. Okay, paragraph 5, please. Kindly omit yourself and read.
Paragraph 5.
Yeah.
Total system optimization, the holistic view. In many facilities, the left hand is fighting the right hand. For example, the lighting system generates heat, which forces the HVAC system to work harder to cool the room. A systemic approach realizes that by upgrading to LED light, which run cool, you are actually also solving saving energy on your air conditioning optimization. Sorry. A systemic approach realizes that by upgrading to LED light, which run cool, you are actually also saving energy on your air conditioning optimization. Isn't about fixing parts. It's about managing interactions. This includes looking at power factor correction, harmonic distortion, and pipe insulation. If you fix the leak in the bucket, you don't need to work as hard to keep the bucket full. Efficiency is a team support. If the striker, that is the generator, is great, but the midfield, that is distribution, is lazy, the team still loses.
Thank you very much. So I just want two persons to give contribution to this. Then we'll also answer the questions underneath. Can we have hands now? Yes, 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 yes. I don't know if I should call my friend. Okay, Mr. Olariwaju, please unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Finally, the first question. That's it. Can a brand new 98% efficient inverter still result in an inefficient system if the battery bank is old and making charge? It is absolutely yes, because it does not matter if the inverter is new. If, for instance, let me get another scenario quickly. If the inverter is like a 20 kilowatt capacity, and you now have a battery bank that is 5 kilowatt, definitely you will not be able to use the inverter to the maximum. So you are substituting yourself. So the same thing is applicable here. When you have old battery, you have battery that are not good, that cannot give you what you want, and you have a new inverter. So the output, what you are going to get, is not going to be. So the answer is yes, 100%.
Thank you
yes.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have more contributions? More contributions? Why is it often better to insulate a building's roof than to buy a bigger air conditioner? Yes, 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 yes. I know there are many knowledgeable people here. Kindly share your knowledge with us so we can learn from you. All right. Why Fanado? Can you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself. Yes. Kindly unmute yourself. Fernando. Okay, I'm not seeing any hand. That's why I'm calling randomly.
Okay.
All right. Speak on.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
I said for the air conditioning, it's not advisable to buy a bigger air conditioning system. It's better to insulate your building, both the bricks, also the roof, because it's one-time investment and you always get your room cooled for long period of time. For air conditioning units, you will always be spending money because of the cost of energy. So it is better to get the roof insulated because of the solar radiation hits the roof, and that is why the air conditioning will always work, always to get it cool. So if you have insulated it from the beginning, the temperature that will be transferred from outside to inside your room will be reduced. So the air conditioning will work less at the long run, and you're going to be saving a lot of energy.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. Yes, let's have, I thought Mr. Okunji was raising his hand. I can't see your hand again. Why? Okay. Yeah.
I actually raised my hand, but he has answered what I wanted to say. So cost of insulating the building is actually a cheaper venture than even on the long run than purchasing a bigger air conditioning. Bigger air conditioning means more energy will be consumed, and during periods of high temperatures, the consumption increases further. Then cost of maintenance and repairs also includes another factor again, which adds more to the operating cost of the facility as well. So it's better to insulate and use a regular AC than to buy or go for the option of a bigger air conditioning unit.
All right, thank you very much. Before we leave this point, right? Before we leave this point, we need to note something. We are talking about a holistic system that is properly optimized, that is efficient. Okay, so what this means simply is to ensure that all your system, the components of your system are functioning properly. That's why I love the last line. If you fix the leak in the bucket, you don't need to work so hard to keep the bucket full. So if there's no leakage, definitely the bucket, making the bucket full won't be a difficult task. All right, so let's take the last paragraph now. I have some hands raised up already. I'm going to unmute one person from the hands raised up. All right, let's hear Mr. Okay, I think Mr. Anthony has read a paragraph for us earlier. So Mr. Okunji, even though you are the last to speak, still read for us. Please unmute yourself.
No problem. Thank you, sir. So the audit loop, sustaining the gains. Efficiency is a perishable state. Motors wear down, filters get clogged, and human habits drift backward towards laziness. Without a continuous improvement loop, an optimized facility will revert to its wasteful state within 6 months. This requires energy auditing, the process of regularly comparing current performance against a baseline. If your fuel to kilowatt hour ratio was at 0.35 last month and it is 0.42 this month, something is wrong. Measurement is the only thing that converts guessing into managing. If you aren't tracking it daily, you aren't managing it. You are just hoping for the best. The moment you stop measuring is the moment your profits start leaking out of the door.
Thank you very, very, very much. All right. Since this is the last paragraph for today, you know, it amazes me that some of our friends have not even unmuted themselves to speak at all. So I want some people who have not even spoken at all to speak now. So I can see some names starting with Y. Yakubu Abdullahi. Can we have you speak? Can we have you speak? Are you there? Can you hear me? Yakubu Abdullahi. I can see another name.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Oh.
Good afternoon. Please, Sulaiman Shoge should get ready. All right. Stephen Mugai, get ready. All right. Go ahead.
I just joined the class. I just missed the class in the middle of the discussion. I did not know directly where they are heading so that I can chip in.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
next.
All right, no problem. You are following us. Thank you for following. Stephen Muigai, please unmute yourself. I'm sorry I didn't pronounce the name properly. I'm just looking for people who have not spoken at all so that they can speak before we close. Yes? Please, Joy Mampak, unmute yourself. Joy Mampak, unmute yourself. Please share with us what you understand from the last paragraph that we just read. Please, let's hear your voice. Evans, unmute yourself. You know, I'm allowing you, please, I want us to contribute to this. Okay, can any volunteer who have not spoken at all, to raise his or her hand up to speak? Yes? Aminat Yakubu.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
with respect to the final line or the final paragraph that says efficiency is not just about doing less, it's about doing better with what, oh, it has moved down a bit. Sorry.
No, it's better it moved that because that would be the last thing to talk about. But from the red paragraph 6, what can you just explain to us or deduce from it?
Okay, let me talk of the quiz. Well, he said, is a system truly optimized if it requires a specialist? I believe that an optimized system, depending on the type of system, yes, can actually require a specialist to come in, because there's this thing called maintenance. People maintain facilities that they have over time, regardless of how specialized it is or regardless of how well put together it is. So you having a specialist come to check in your systems does not necessarily mean that it is not optimized. It just means you can constantly check it and review it to ensure that it maintains it is being maintained, or it is used as is meant to be used, and it works properly in every
Okay.
single situation that is put in. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Your take is a very good take.
Can I address the quiz?
Carry on.
Okay. An optimized system should be able to run on its own so that the consultant can visit monthly or quarterly rather than weekly. If a consultant is visiting weekly, then the purpose of optimization or automation of the building is defeated. That's my take on the quiz.
Thank you. I can see Lois Moses giving you a thumbs up. That means she so accepts your contribution. Thank you very much. That's very wonderful. I think a weekly is too close, is too much, every week. So the system is not truly optimized. Does anybody have something else to say or to add? Mr. Anthony, let me unmute you. Please unmute yourself and speak. I hope you won't protest at me. All right.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
When we look at all these loops, it's like checking things and managing the waste and closing the gap. Now we use paragraph 6, we're talking about motors and generators, filters, and all what have you, having a ratio of fuel to kilowatt ratio of jumping from one level to the other. First of all, we'll look at because if you actually have been privy to maintenance of diesel generator, you find out that there are so many components in the diesel generator that if they are not well managed, they could actually make it lose so much energy. Well, let's say, for example, talking about the filters. I'm not even going through the filter. I'm going through the radiator. Once the radiator of a diesel generator is clogged with dust, because most time we don't put those into maintenance schedule on time to always remove those radiators and flush out the dirt. When there is no good air circulating in the radiator, definitely the generator will be working as hard as it could, consuming much diesel and not giving out the expected energy. So looking at it that way, we'll now look at this audit. Can we write out things to be changed or things to look out for in a generator to ensure? Because when there are defective things in any equipment, it actually consumes power more than we can expect. So we should be able to draw a line that this and this and this in the generator should always be looked at. How often do we service? At how many hours will this generator run before servicing can be done? And during servicing of this generator, after it has attained total number of running hours, what and what should be changed out completely? Because you get to some maintenance engineer, they'll tell you, We are not changing this filter. This filter is very expensive. We can't be changing this filter every time we are going to service. So all these things should be, we should ensure that this filter, air filter, the diesel filter, every time you are carrying out servicing, they should all be changed, because these are some of the things that will make energy wastage to be more in power in generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So to the final line now, efficiency is not about doing less. It is about doing better with what you have. It is the difference between a survivor and a leader. So that is the final notes for this week 7's topic. You know, it is not even about you saying, I'm not using AC again, I'm not using electrical car, I'm not using hot plate, I'm not using this, I'm not using that. No. You can use AC, you can make yourself comfortable, but ensure that your system is politically efficient. So I want to appreciate everyone for joining this class today. And thanks to the organizer, thanks to our hosts, and thanks to the management of the organizing committee. And I hope that we will enjoy the rest of this course. Let's not forget that I've already dropped a note on our message box so that we can have something to discuss on the WhatsApp group. Thank you once again. Thank you, and have a very wonderful day. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Engineer Emmanuel. Like I said before he came on board, I said it was going to be such an insightful and impactful session. So thank you very much. Please, let's appreciate him by using our reactions. Let's show that we are appreciative people. Yeah, Richard, thank you. Amin Olariwaju. Thank you so much, Engineer Emmanuel. So please, let's not forget the quiz that we were given. I hope we have been able to get the question for the quiz. Have we been able to get the question for the quiz, please?
No, I joined late. I don't
You
know.
have to help us drop it in the
You can drop
WhatsApp
it.
group so that we can get it. Drop it in the
Okay,
WhatsApp
I will
group.
send it. I will send it to the group chat, okay? It's not a problem. All right, let's have a wonderful day. See you same time next week for another session. Bye, everyone. And don't forget to drop your feedback on the group also. Thank you. We can leave. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Too.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.